All right, we're live. Hello, coaches. It's Karen and Vivian here to talk to you today about the niche. And I'm so excited to introduce you to No Limits Vivian, who she's living up to her name, that is for sure. And she has made her business extremely profitable in the very first year, actually 9 months, in the middle of a pandemic. And I wanted to interview Vivian and ask her about this. Actually, Vivian, welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hi to all the coaches out there.
Fantastic. Well, Vivian, I know that one of the things you attribute your success. First of all, tell us about your success in your first year of business. What's been going on with you?
I left my corporate job with high hopes, but a lot of uncertainty, and without having any money in the bank to cover any, difficult periods. But with a lot of confidence that I would make it work. So I am glad to say I reached out to you, Karen, for QSI straight away, and I didn't hesitate and decided that my last cash I would invest it to getting some help. And in the space of those 9 months, I managed to start getting contracts with businesses on my own. That was for the first time. So I had to go through all this journey of living in this uncertainty in terms of not having a salary coming in, and not uncertainty in terms of not knowing how to be an entrepreneur. A lot of corporate experience, but zero experience as an entrepreneur. So that was my need to get help, and you, Karen, was that mentor that helped me there to how to become an entrepreneur, how to navigate this and cross the bridge, create the bridge and cross and be on the other side. So now I'm in a happy position to say I am an entrepreneur. Yes, I am an entrepreneur.
Yes, and Vivian, I remember the first 4 months of your business, you signed $80,000 worth of contracts.
Yes, it was 3 or 4. I don't remember now, but yes, it was something that fueled my courage a lot. But it was following the steps from QSI, really, because I didn't know how to do it on my own anyway. So I didn't have any map, and I remember it took a few months to actually get the first contract signed. I had to do a lot of. I put in too much energy. Now I say that I know a little bit more, but it was following the steps, really. And we started, and I suddenly had some money to help me continue and try and get more.
And Vivian, we're getting some great comments from Christy and Snehal and Rachel. They're all saying, they're all acknowledging you. So that's so
thank
cool.
You.
And Vivian, I want to say you have had a lot of success. And one of the things that we did in the Quick Start Intensive, which is our 12-week program, is we started out with the niche. And we started out with what we call the power of one, and really tightening up your audience, the challenge they have, the result they want, and the offer you were going to make to them. Can you tell us a little bit, share with the coaches what that meant to your business and how that hooked up with your success so that they can maybe do that for themselves?
Yes, I still remember the first time because I attended that Power of One every single time in 2020. I still remember the first time I heard you describe it. Suddenly I saw the light from feeling lost and trying, putting so much energy to do the smallest thing. Suddenly I saw a map. For me, it became visual immediately. And I thought, I can do this. It all makes sense. It fits the way I'm thinking. I can work with this. So it was an instant feeling of, yes, this is my roadmap going forward. And I remember it made perfect sense. And the simplicity is the most important thing. And as I kept working on it, Now I have 20 times more simplicity than 9 months ago in the same methodology, because suddenly you take out all the noise. You say, okay, the rest of it, I'm happy for all of it to be happening, but it's just not in my radar anymore. It's not what I'm going to be using my energy for. And learning to mute all of that noise, it has a very good effect on one's well-being to start with. There's a lot less confusion. So suddenly my problem of becoming an entrepreneur and actually surviving without having an inheritance or anything to keep me going, suddenly that became more straightforward. Something like the dimensions became more human and I could deal with it. So it made me feel very empowered and that I could work with this. And then I was using it, and it took time to refine it. But the more I went with it, the better my results, and the better the ratio of where I put my effort and what I get as tangible output. That ratio was becoming much more productive the more I was working to refine and embrace the power of one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Vivian, I just love seeing it. I love seeing how you had your audience as people in manufacturing operational excellence. That's where you came from. So that's one thing I love, and I want all the coaches to think about is, where did you come from? Like, what experience do you have in your background that maybe there's a thread running through it all? And then you knew the challenges intimately of your group, and then you knew exactly what they wanted and created an offer based on all of that. So those 4 elements of the power of one, your ideal audience, you identified those people, the challenges they were having, you knew what those were, the desired results, and then creating an offer that would be really helpful to getting them to where they want to go. I see we have even more people joining us. So Vivian, could you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the challenges that you had in embracing the power of one and in your first year of business?
Well, the main challenge was to stop being afraid, thinking that the niche, because of the narrow scope it has, it would, I felt uncomfortable because I thought, my God, if I narrow the niche, I'm at the beginning stages anyway. If I narrow my scope, I'm going to make it even harder for myself. That was the first nervousness, which was persistent, was that. But I understood that it worked. So when I was using my brain then to manage that nervousness, but it lasted for a few months, I must say. But every small step I was taking to embracing more the niche, the more free and the more effective in terms of results I was becoming. So reality was proving to me that I shouldn't be afraid. I remember in the beginning, I was thinking maybe I should say just managers. And I hesitantly had asked you, Karen, or should I mention operations people, operations managers, which is my background and my tribe. And you had said, of course, say it. I mean, that's who you're talking to. And I thought it was such a big step. But yes, that's what makes me succeed now. I'm just staying in my zone of excellence. This is what this identifying the ideal client is. You put yourself where your skills and your passions are the most appreciated and visible to your ideal clients. So you're making a favor to yourself. Mm-hmm. Another challenge was getting my offer right. So after I embraced the ideal client, I had to work in terms of narrowing down the offer. That was another of the same kind of nervousness. But now that I have in the past few months, I am working with a narrow offer, but with a lot of depth. And, you know, when I say to myself, but there's so many companies around the world that you could use it for, become, like you say, Karen, to become known as the reference person for this, become the go-to person for this. That's what I want for myself. And it actually, I notice now, after having embraced a narrow offer, that where I spend my time and my energy is totally in speaking with potential clients or presenting it to existing clients, which is the value add part of being a coach, as opposed to me doubting myself and saying, oh, what about this? And oh, if I add that as well, oh, so such and such person is doing this, that sounds good. And as opposed to wasting and dispersing my energy in all those, it's doubts. So removing the doubt and just staying with what you're great at. Like what I say now to myself is, why do something that with a lot of work I could be good at, when there are things where with my existing pedigree and all the hard work that I've put in my nature, I can be great at. I choose great in this dilemma.
Yes. And Vivian, you told me the other day you want to be known as the what is it?
Yeah.
The world's leading expert. Tell me.
I want for myself to become the world-class person for driving engagement in manufacturing companies that use operational excellence as a way to manage and get results. I want, when manufacturing leaders around the world, when they think of engagement, I want No Limits Vivian to be the second thing that comes to their mind. That's what my goal.
That's so beautiful.
That's output of the power of one, the simplicity. But it's a big ambition. It sounds simple, but that's the simplicity of it is what makes it something that I believe I can win.
It's so great because every step you take towards that is going towards that one goal. And here's somebody that says, I was concerned about narrowing too much, and the exact opposite is what happened. See, that is so true. And that Rachel, thank you so much. It's a paradox, right?
Yes.
We do get concerned about narrowing too much. So Vivian, I know you came to me and said to me, wow, this niche stuff and the power of one is so powerful that we shouldn't only offer it to people that are in the Quick Start Intensive, but we should offer it to others. In fact, pull out this piece of the Quick Start Intensive and offer it to other coaches, because so many coaches are struggling with this niche. So many coaches are resisting. It's so interesting. They're resisting the very thing that will give them almost everything they want. It's just so interesting to me. And you asked me to create a course based upon the power of one only, so that coaches who maybe weren't ready for the 12 weeks could get into this course. And I did, right? With your support.
Yeah.
And so now the very exciting thing I want to let all the coaches know is now Vivian is actually going to be the trainer for the next version of this course, which is so cool. And I want to say, I listened to Vivian talk about this niche and this power of one. And Vivian, you have even more to give sometimes than I do. You have such a great perspective about this. You're so close to the newer coaches, and you've had so much success with this. So I just want to invite any coach that's listening. There's actually two invitations. One, continue to stay with us in the Facebook group. We're going to be talking about this niche, and we're going to go deeper into each of these elements of the power of one in the next couple of weeks. So sign up for these events, get to this, because this could actually make a huge difference. In fact, I would say, I'm a former financial planner, so where there's no guarantees. I can't guarantee anything, but I would almost guarantee that this will make a huge difference in your business, even whether you are whoever you are, and especially if you're a business or executive coach, if you're concerned about the pandemic, if you're wondering how your business is going to really thrive through all of this, we're going to help you with this in the next couple weeks. And if you want to take it further, and I'm going to do something here that's kind of cute, we do have our course coming up that Vivian is going to be the trainer for. It's going to be the same curriculum, and we're going to go over the 4 aspects of the power of one. The pricing, whatever you pay for this niche remedy, if you decide to go into the Quick Start Intensive, you'll be able to apply whatever you've done here into our next Quick Start Intensive. So it's a great foundation. And we're going to make that invitation to you. Stick with us for the next couple weeks. Vivian, what else, is there any final thing that you want to say to the coaches about this whole overall niche?
It's what I say to myself, really. It is the business model. If you're interested in having a business and earning a living, having a profitable business, if that's your intention, then you need to have a business model. Not because we're coaches, all businesses have it. Because we're coaches, it doesn't mean we don't need a business foundation, to put it differently. So if you intend to enjoy yourselves with coaching without having profitability expectations, you don't necessarily need a business model. You can have one, but don't need one. But if profitability is your expectation and a sustainment over time of the business and growth is your expectation, then you need to look at it as a business and manage it as a business. And the business model is, if we don't have a business model, we have a wish. We have a hobby, and they're good things, but they're not profitable. So do yourselves a favor. That's, for me, it was a gift that I did to myself. And I really want to share all the good things that came out of this. I have seen the light, and I think as coaches, we can develop our community and be more successful if we do the simple things that work.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Vivian. And I do believe the niche is kind of step one of your business model. And it's the foundation of your whole entire business model. So we will be back. I have No Limits Vivian with me. We'll be back again in our group, I believe, next week. Check the events section, and we'll continue on. And we're going to really hone in on that ideal client. We're going to give you some tips on how this has worked for Vivian and how it can work for you. So thank you, Vivian.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, Karen.
Bye.